I'll give you an idea of where we're standing. If you look to my right, there is a train, and off the edge of where everything is blocked off around the courthouse.
Hello.
There, that's where a lot of folks
are y'all near?
Into the court, in and out
Are you near your TV?
And then if you look to my left,
anybody home? Well, I'm sitting here waiting, anticipating. I've been waiting for an hour. I thought they said the verdict was gonna be in and read, but I am just so nervous, y'all. And I never get nervous or anything regarding something like this, court or what have you. But it's really got me scared and nervous. But I just really hope, everything is done well and that, this man is found guilty, honey. Because if not, I could imagine, honey, how everything is going to turn out, honey. So people going to be tearing up stuff, and we don't want that. We just want it to be peaceful. That's what black people like, peace, huh? We've been liking peace all our lives and always get slapped and thrown down, y'all. But they're saying, y'all, that the verdict is going to be read any minute, even though they've been saying that now for an hour. So, but I've just been sitting here waiting. But, honey, y'all need to turn on CNN and watch the verdict, honey. It is so sad. It's so spooky, honey. Like I said, I am. Yeah, honey, Diana, I'm waiting and praying for justice too, honey. It's a spooky thing, y'all. So we just gotta pray, honey. This is something. Cause y'all know, honey, our luck. We don't get too much of that. So, then you waiting too, honey? Jeanette, yes, honey. I mean, watching, waiting, anticipating, cause they need to come on. They said it was gonna be read about an hour ago, and honey, I miss Judge Judy, waiting for the verdict to be read, but.
Tell us where you are and what you're seeing.
Waiting for
Right now, Wolf, we are at George Floyd Square. This is ground zero.
Oh, the judge is in. Oh, Lord, I'm nervous.
All right, hold on, Omar. This is
oh, Jesus. Oh, y'all. I don't know what to do. Oh, baby, the judge is in. There goes the judge. There goes Chauvin. Oh, Lord, look. Here you go. Everybody froze. Oh, yeah, I'm going to come back. Or should I come back? Okay, I'll tell you the verdict, Regina. Oh, my Lord. Let me sit up. Oh, Jesus.
Members of the jury, I will now read the verdicts as they will appear in the court record of the 4th Judicial District.
Okay, you read them.
State of Minnesota, County of Hennepin, District Court, 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota Plaintiff versus Derrick Michael Chauvin, Defendant. Verdict, Count 1. Court file number 27, CR 20-12646.
Count 1.
We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to Count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty.
Oh, guilty.
Agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:44 p.m.
Guilty and count 1. He looks sharp.
Four-person, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict.
He can be the second-degree murder.
In the above entitled matter as to Count 2, third-degree murder, perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Signed by jury four-person, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 3. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 3, second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, find the defendant guilty. This verdict.
Oh, they found him guilty.
2021 at 1:45 p.m. Jury four-person 019.
He guilty on all 3 charges.
Please respond yes or no. Juror number 2, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yeah.
David Chauvin guilty on all 3 charges.
Juror number 19, are these your true and correct verdicts? Yes. Juror number 27, are these your true and correct verdicts? Yes. Juror number 44, are these your true and correct verdicts?
He's sitting there looking like he fucking shocked on the
Are these your true and correct verdicts? Yes. Juror number 55, are these your true and correct verdicts? Yes.
All right, baby.
Are these your true and correct verdicts? Yes. Juror number 85.
Maybe the people are screaming and clapping. It's about time something finally happened.
Are these your true and correct verdicts? Yes. Juror number 91, are these your true and correct verdicts? Yes.
David Chauvin guilty on all 3 charges in Delta, Joe, because he was definitely guilty. And I saw that myself. All right, y'all. Yeah.
Okay, so the verdict is in. They found Chauvin guilty on all charges. The murder, the manslaughter, and I'm trying to process, as I watched him put his hands behind his back and walk off into custody, knowing that this is his first day of hell for the next, 25, 35 years, 40 years, however many years he ends up getting. I feel a sense of vindication. Not for myself, obviously, because even though I'm not involved in the situation as a black man, I feel like, okay, we got one, we got one. And it makes me feel hopeful that, because a lot of times I don't feel that hopeful. As a black man, as a father of black children, I don't feel that hopeful a lot of times when it comes to this country. I feel fear a lot, not so much for myself, but for my 31-year-old black son, for my 17-year-old black son, for my 37, 38-year-old black nephew, for my 22-year-old black nephew, for my 12-year-old black nephew. I feel hope. I feel a lot of concern for them, because they're out here. They're out here in these streets in terms of just doing regular stuff, man. Driving back and forth to work, driving back and forth to the store, going to the gym, going to the rec center to play basketball, driving to a girlfriend's house, driving to hang out with a homeboy, going to the mall to get a haircut at the barbershop, all of that. And being a black man in America, the constant fear and the constant worry and the constant apprehension and the constant nervousness that you feel for the people you care about. Like I said, I'm not, for some reason, I don't worry about myself. I worry about them, because my 17-year-old son just started driving really seriously over this past 6 or 7 months, 7 or 8 months. And he drives to work every day, about 15 minutes from the house. And I make him call when he, like, if I'm not at home, I make him text me when he leaves, and he got to text me when he get there. He got to call me when he leaves work, and he got to call me when he gets home, because I need to know that he made it. Today I feel a little bit, I don't know why I'm feeling emotional, but I am, watching this verdict, because what it says is that, aside from the organization and the politics behind the words, Black lives, in this case, matter, and a black life mattered. A black life. And people can say what they want to say about George Floyd. He wasn't Barack Obama. He wasn't an intellectual scholar, a Harvard graduate. He wasn't a powerful leader in the country. He wasn't. George Floyd was important to the people who loved him. He had his issues, apparently, and but when it comes to a cop having the ability and the feeling like he has the right to just abuse and take the life of this individual who somebody may not look at as, I'm pretty sure if he had been, the pastor of a mega church or a city councilman or a state congressman, then yeah, it probably would. The situation probably would have been handled differently. But nah, George Floyd was just a dude. He was a dude. He was in the streets. He was who he was. But he was a father. He was a cousin. He was a nephew. He was a brother. He was a son. He was all of them things, and he was very important to the people who loved him. And this verdict today doesn't give his kids their father back. Doesn't give his brother back. Doesn't give anybody who loved him this person back. But what it gives me as a black man, what it gives me is just this much hope. Just this much hope that the white cop that pulls over my son, one of my sons, or the white cop that pulls over somebody I care about, thinks about that image of Derrick Chauvin walking away with his hands behind his back, preparing to spend the next 30, 40, 50 years in prison. And maybe that cop will think twice about how he's going to treat my son, how he's going to treat my nephew, how he's going to treat my other son, how he's going to treat the next black man that he pulls over. Yeah, man, so we got one today. I don't know how it's going to all shake out when it comes to appeals and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how it's all shake out, but for right now, it's a W. I'm going to take it. We going to take it, and we going to run with it. And, man, like I said, it gives me that much hope, that much. We got one today. All right, that's it. Well, we got one. We got Derrick Chauvin, cop in Minneapolis. Yeah. No longer a cop, now you're a prisoner. Now you're an inmate. Now you're in your first day of hell. And as a black man in America that has black sons and black daughters, black nephews, black nieces, I feel like this is a win. It's a win. It's like in the big scheme of things, this is like getting a first down in the course of a football game. It's a first down. It's not. I don't even consider it a touchdown. It's a first down, which means that we made a little bit of progress to our goal. Our goal is to win the overall game. This is a first down, meaning we gained some ground. We moved the ball. We moved the markers. Because the world and America has seen that in this case, at this time, a white cop is not going to be allowed to get away with brazenly, shamelessly, with malice aforethought, and with much just disrespectful arrogance. A white cop would not be able to just put his knee on the neck of a black man and hold it there with all his body weight for almost 10 minutes until he dies. With people watching, with people filming, with people videoing, with his hands in his pockets, with his glasses on his head, with a smug, arrogant look on his face of, yeah, I'm doing this. What? Well, Chauvin, now you know what. What is, your ass is guilty on all charges. Stand up, put your hands behind your back, put on them cuffs, and walk your ass into custody. And you have enjoyed your last day of daylight for a long time, brother. And I think that the verdict says something to white America. The part of it that saw that and didn't see anything wrong, I think it says something to blue America, to let the police know that you need to think twice before, or you need to think twice the next time you pull over or walk into a situation where you have a black citizen in your care that you either need to arrest or investigate or let go or whatever. But what you ain't gonna do is put your fucking knee on somebody's neck. I don't give a damn if they talking about, oh, it was on his shoulder. You're not gonna do is put your knee on somebody's neck and hold them on the ground for 10 minutes until they die because you choked them out. That's what you ain't gonna do. Because you're gonna think about Derrick Chauvin standing up in that courtroom, getting all them guilty charges, putting his hands behind his back and walking his ass into hell. You're going to think about that, Mr. White Cop. You need to. Because you could be the next one to go. Now, I'm hoping that we don't have that situation. I'm hoping that another black man doesn't have to go through that in order for us to get this type of justice. But understand, we got a first down. I'm not jumping for joy. Am I happy that the verdict turned out the way it is? Yes, I am. But this is just the first down. And that means that we got a lot of ground that we still have to cover to get to a touchdown. And then we got more ground after that to get to a victory in the game. But for right now, it's a win. For right now, it's a win. I'll take it.
Are you excited? Yeah. Look. Well, we're getting all set up now, but look what's about to happen. Marley, are you ready? Maverick, are you ready? Yeah. Mikey, are you ready? Yeah. Come here. Come over here. This is your area. Are you ready?
This is my box.
Which one? Hey. There's no fighting over boxes. Okay. The cool thing is that we have a big sister that can help everybody. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready to get ready?
Yeah.
So there's a panda crate. Oh my. Oh me. Oh my.
Oh me, oh my.
Mikey, are you ready?
Oh me, oh my, mommy, mommy.
Oh who? Oh who?
Oh my.
Marley, what's in there?
A letter.
Is that a special letter?
Yeah.
Maverick, there's a koala crate. Come here. Come see the koala. Come open it.
Okay.
Yes, you can open it now. Let's go.
This is gonna be amazing. Letter.
Ooh.
Oh, thank you. Wow, I got a dinosaur sticker. Now I'm gonna see what I got a little hat here. Hey guys, so I just put glue in this little bottle, in this little cup. Now I'm gonna put the rest of the colors. My coffee. My steak. Hey, look at my steak. Yeah. Let's just do this.
And here's what we're going to do. We're going to give God praise for victory. Give God praise for accountability. Give God praise for the impossible. Why? Because if God has done it, here's the good news. God will do it. So for this, we give God praise.
Ladies and gentlemen, the senior pastor of Friendship West Missionary Baptist Church, Dallas, Texas, Pastor Haynes, let everybody know how you can be reached.
Hey, thank you, Rickey Smiley. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at FH Unscripted. I'm on Facebook, Frederick D. Haynes. My YouTube channel is Frederick Haynes.
There it is. Love you, Pastor Haynes.
Love you, Rickey. Thank you.
News headlines, entertainment, sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, the time right now is 12 minutes. 12 minutes after the hour. Y'all got a big show for you this morning. The segment is being brought to you by Indeed. Life is a marathon, not a sprint unless you're hiring. Fortunately, Indeed has great tools that help speed up the hiring process. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. I'm your girl, Eva Marcille, here with a quick look at your front page news. Former Minneapolis police officer Derrick Chauvin will face sentencing in June. After 10 hours of deliberation, he was found guilty on all counts in the death of George Floyd last May. Second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. With all three of those charges, he could face up to 40 years in prison when he's sentenced. Now, this is what the Floyd family had to say. This was his brother in a press conference.
I'm going to put up a fight every day because I'm not just fighting for George anymore. I'm fighting for everybody around this world. Today, we are able to breathe again.
President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris both made remarks after the verdict, saying that more needs to be done. The three officers who were with Chauvin when Floyd died will go on trial in August. Now, unfortunately, minutes before the Derrick Chauvin verdict was read, police in Columbus, Ohio, shot and killed a teenage girl. Now, details are still coming out about it, but a witness says that Micaiah Bryant, who we believe is either 15 or 16 years old, called the police on several women who entered her home. When the police got to the scene, Micaiah had a knife, and the police said that they shot her in protection of the other females that were there. Micaiah was a foster child and was under the care of Children's Services. All right, that was a quick look at your front page.
That's really sad.
It's disgusting.
You know,
Ricky.
because it's crazy. That's why you really can't even and the fact that we had to even celebrate the verdict when it was so damn obvious that Derrick Chauvin is a outright racist murderer, and the fact that we had to hold our breath and celebrate when something, and then right after that, then the police killed a 16-year-old girl. Shot her 4 times in the chest. They dogs, and they got to reform the police department. It's got to be. They got to get all these racists. It's good cops out here that's working hard, putting their lives on the line that serve the community. I've seen it myself. I serve with them. But to have something like this happen, and then the police officer stood back and said, "Blue Lives Matter." One of the police officers. I don't know if it
did.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
was a group of them.
Absolutely. And then, so what I'm interested to see, all these black players that's representing Ohio State University making their money. And I'll say the same thing if something like that happens in Tuscaloosa. Same thing. Because we sit up there, we pay their salary, we make them money, put them on the map only for them to go into the community and do stuff like this. It pisses me off. Pissed off. You can't. I'm not celebrating. George Floyd ain't coming back. His daughter still got to be raised without a father. And then what about for the murder of Sandra Bland and Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, and all the rest of them? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We
got 1 out of 100.
1 out of 100. Right. That's where I am. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Go ahead, Eva. Yeah.
It is absolutely okay. Rock T, what you got in sports?
Yeah, man. I guess the best way to explain it, Rick, is that's one step. That's one step. So we got to keep going, man. Sports brought to you by Ford. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Check out the all-new 2021 Ford F-150 at Ford.com. Built Ford proud, built Ford tough. Of course, the sports world has responded to the guilty verdict. Golden State Warrior Draymond Green, this is not the end of bad cops. Much more work needs to be done. Timberwolves star Karl Anthony Towns says it was bittersweet. You know, justice was served, but it was served at the cost of a life. The Las Vegas Raiders was dragged on social media for tweeting the words, "I can breathe," after hearing George Floyd's brother use the phrase, "we're able to breathe again." The Raiders claimed they were supporting the Floyd family and apologized if that tweet offended anyone. That was not their intentions. LeBron James tweeted one word: accountability. So we got to keep moving. That's one step. So let's take step 2, then take step 3, then 4, and so on and so forth. Gary, what's going on, my man?
All right, John, like you were just saying, about a lot of celebrities are speaking out about it. They're saying President Obama, other celebrities react after the jury finds Chauvin guilty in the George Floyd murder. And we're going to talk about more about that more this morning, y'all. So the color today is going to be a color that, you know, special to me. My color today, y'all, is Emperadora. On the high end, you say Emperadora, and on the low end, just say brown. That's your color for the day, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
The hot spot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot and that's hot. You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, this segment is being brought to you by Capital One. That's right, y'all. Quicksilver Card. The Capital One Quicksilver Card. That's right, with Quicksilver, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere. That's what's in your wallet. Quicksilver. Hey, what up, Rock?
What's up, man? Rock Teasy here, sitting in for the Briggity Tat. This is the hot spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. Of course, celebrities took to social media to react to former police officer Derrick Chauvin being convicted on all charges after jury found him guilty in the murder of George Floyd. Former President Barack Obama tweeted today, "A jury did the right thing, but true justice requires much more. Michelle and I send our prayers to the Floyd family, and we stand with all those who are committed to guaranteeing every American the full measure of justice that George and so many others have been denied." Floyd's good friend, Steven Jackson, wrote on Instagram, "Justice or no justice, I'm riding for life. You changed the world. Your name will be the name of change. You changed my life. I've accepted the position you put me in, and I promise not to let you down." LL Cool J tweeted, "Guilty. Hell yeah. Sentencing is the real litmus test." Cardi B, "History. Kerry Washington, a guilty verdict. But this fight for justice is not over. We have a lot of work to do still. There's more fight ahead of us. But right now, please take care of yourselves. And let's take care of each other. Prayers and love to the family of George Floyd." Jada Pinkett Smith, "Come through, justice." Also, man, all this was going on, trending on Instagram last night, was Redman and Method Man. They gave fans a concert instead of a traditional battle during their 420 themed Versus special. Okay, the two went through several of their hit collaborations, including "I'll Be There for You," "You're All I Need to Get By," the Notorious B.I.G.'s "The What," the Fife Dogs assisted "Nutshell Part 2," and LL Cool J's 4321. They was going back and forth. After playing DMX's verse, Method Man got a little emotional, broke down. He asked all the fans to put an X in the chat. DJ Cool made an appearance. He came through and performed "Let Me Clear My Throat." So that was kind of entertaining and fun to watch as well. After performing more of their hits, the rap legends closed out the night with a performance of their collaboration, one of my favorite hip-hop songs, The Rock Wilder, man. So it is what it is. That's Rock Teasy, who I be, doing it for the hot spot with the brick tat, man.
Now you know.
And if you don't know, now you know.
HBCU,
Okay. What up, man? Rock Teasy up in the house. It's time for another HBCU. We're going to always showcase and put a spotlight on our heroes and sheroes that attended or currently attend our phenomenal historically black colleges and universities. You know we finna go back down to Tallahassee, Florida, home of FAMU, established in 1887. home of the orange and green Rattlers. Also home of the infamous Marching 100 Marching Band. Oh, let's talk about one of y'all's former graduates. Award-winning television executive who graduated from FAMU with a degree in broadcast journalism. She joined, that's right, I said she joined CBS News in 2007 and quickly rose to executive vice president of news. She won not one, not two, not three, but 6 National News and Documentary Emmy Awards, including Outstanding Investigative Report in a Newscast, including live coverage of a current news story, just to name a couple of them. Oh, I ain't done. She was named president of ABC News, making her both the first African-American person and the first African-American woman to lead a major broadcast news network. Shut my mouth. I ain't got to say nothing else. The one and only Kim Godwin, another HBCU proud alum of Florida A&M University. If you didn't know, now you know. If you want me to highlight your favorite HBCU, hit me up on my social media platforms at Rock T Holla. Let's get it.
HBCU, If you've been under a rock, Derrick Chauvin has been found guilty on all charges with the murder of George Floyd. And I just want to know, what are y'all thoughts about it? Eva, what are your thoughts? Where were you when the verdict came in?
Well, I was awaiting the verdict like everyone else. We knew it was coming in within the hour, the 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Hour to 4 o'clock. So I was waiting with bated breath. But I must say, Ricky, today I'm hopeful. I'm not hopeful because I feel like justice was served. I'm hopeful because I feel like accountability was served. And I was a young girl when Latasha Hartland was killed 3 blocks from my house. I was 2 blocks from Reginald Denny. I was a couple miles from Rodney King. So I remember these cases going into the court, and I remember coming out just feeling robbed again and beaten again. And so to await this trial's verdict and for him to be charged on all 3, it is not a victory in the sense of justice has been served, but accountability for one of the first few times in America has been served. And that I'm hopeful for.
Right. Special K, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was waiting for the verdict too, and I sat there and watched it. And I felt a brief moment of, sigh of relief that, again, accountability had been served. But, I can't get too celebratory because it's what should have been done. I mean, the deliberation should have been 15 minutes. It shouldn't even been a few hours. It was so obvious what the outcome should have been. But I just feel like, if we get too elated over this one small, tiny victory, just one ray of light in all this darkness of white supremacy and racism, then we're going to, lose sight that the battle still continues. It was a first down in a game of, 4 quarters. It was a first down. It wasn't even a touchdown. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's what should have been done.
Right. Right, and it's sad, one out of all of those cases, when you think about Sandra Bland and you think about, Alton Sterling and
Breonna Taylor,
Philando
Castile,
Tamir Rice,
Adam Toledo.
Yeah, you think about all of those people that did not get Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, that did not get justice. Yeah. And the thing about it is, man, whenever, we get a first down, it seems like there's always a backlash. So I'm just kind of really paranoid because now I'm thinking like, okay, the Blue Lives Matter, the Black Lives Matter won yesterday, right? So the Blue Lives Matter, what's going to happen next? Are they on the internet saying, okay, we're going to go out here and just start killing a whole lot of black people or whatever? Because coincidentally, a 15-year-old African-American little girl was shot 4 times in the chest by a Columbus, Ohio police officer. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, first of all, we shouldn't have been celebrating that or whatever, because that's what's supposed to happen. Celebrating what's supposed to happen. Excuse me. And the other thing is, now this murder in Columbus, Ohio, and the other young man that was killed last week. And it's like, when does it stop? So are the police officers all over the country, the ones that don't do the right thing, the ones that are racist, are they going to really go out with a vengeance? Because they still have the guns. That conviction yesterday did not change the mindset and the hearts of, I don't even think it put them on notice. I just think it's going to continue.
And it didn't get us any closer to the dissolution of qualified immunity. That's such a big part of this.
Why don't you think it got us closer?
Bill has to be passed. Why don't I think it got us closer? Because it's legislation, and that legislation has to be passed by Congress.
Right.
I mean, that legislation has to happen so that cops are held personally, financially liable for these decisions that they make.
Right. Because I think on our job, if we get on the radio or go out in public and do something crazy, then we're going to be held liable for what we do. So why can't they be held liable? And I'm just really sad. I don't know how to feel. Some people, celebrate. I understand, and I'm not mad at people for celebrating because it does feel like a win to some people. But with me, from what I've seen, the backlash is something else. The election of Barack Obama, the backlash, the election of Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? And it seemed like things got triple worse. A damn pandemic came with his ass, and then all of the stuff and all the inflammatory racist statements that the president of the United States would be making, calling out the China virus, and now Asian Americans are being attacked, and the fight that he would have against black athletes, who was trying to stand up for justice, and it just always a backlash. Look how the Republicans did Barack Obama, no matter whether they agree with him or not, they was not going to do anything for him to be successful. And it just always seems like there's a dangerous backlash. Now my question is, what do we have to look forward to in the next 4 weeks prior to the sentencing and after the sentencing?
And there's going to be an appeal.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's going to have plenty of money to fight. He's going to have plenty of money to fight it with because his defense fund is probably about to go through the roof.
Right. So, we got a long way to go. All right, y'all, more Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up. In the morning.
Hold it. Half man, half woman. It's Gary. I want to hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Wednesday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. The Jenner Kardashian family recently allegedly spoke out regarding the George Floyd trial yesterday. They're saying that, they're happy that justice was prevailed, and people are saying that, they followed the trial the whole time, and it's interesting that, with Kim going to be a lawyer, this may help her, see, with her becoming a lawyer sooner than later, at least. Which people still wonder, how could she become a lawyer when you don't go to law school? But they're saying, I guess you could follow lawyer, and in California, the laws are totally different, where you could become a lawyer without having to go to law school. So, all you gotta
do is go online like Kim Nelson Ingram, like when she pledged Delta, she pledged online.
She pledged on. Oh,
yeah.
What else?
Good on the internet. I'm just joking. Kim, I'm sorry.
Because we was wondering why her ooh didn't come out the same. But
she's gonna kill us.
I know. But anyway, congratulations to them, y'all. And it's interesting too that all the celebrities are still talking about this situation. And
I couldn't get the microphone fast enough.
Too late now. Move to the next story. All right, Candy from Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. They're saying that she's still not sure, y'all, where her relationship with Portia Williams stands after Portia went live, y'all, to address a Vulture article where Candy and Kenya, they're saying, revealed that there was a deleted scene from season 13 where Portia and Candy discussed their different approaches to Black Lives Matter activism. Now, they're saying, y'all, during the interview on Fox 5, they said Candy said that after the reunion taping, her and Portia were good, and now she was confused about where they stood. She explained that I really don't know, honestly. She said, as far as I know, me and Portia were friends, but now, it's a different story, so we're going to see how that turned out and what have you. And moving on, in other celebrity news, I guess this is official. It's being reported, y'all, that Lil Wayne is married. They're saying that Lil Wayne and his beautiful bride, Miss Denise Bado, tied the knot. Now, they're saying he wrote by Instagram, happiest man alive. Today is the beginning of our forever, ever.
Years more than tied the knot.
Yeah, so congratulations to Lil Wayne, honey, and his beautiful. Have y'all seen her?
All right, to get wet, though. You better keep him dry. Them gremlins real.
Congratulations, Lil Wayne.
Just kidding.
Yes, just kidding. I hear you, Eva. But anyway, child. Yeah, so congratulations. She's a well, congratulations, y'all.
Wow.
All right, the color today, honey, is one of my.
She's beautiful. Say it, Gary.
She is beautiful. Yeah, she's beautiful.
Beautiful.
She got to be beautiful. We praying for her because she got to wake up. Look over there.
Yeah, boy.
Special K.
Yeah,
she
man.
got to wake over there. Look at Lil Wayne here, boy, with them.
That's a hell of a wake up.
All the red cups over there. That nightstand we been sipping scissor all night.
Just sipping that lean.
Got some strong guys.
That's love for you, boy. That's love.
Mm-hmm. I had that money. 1 or 2.
Well,
but anyway,
100 million probably don't hurt.
No. How much you got again, baby? Oh, okay. Hi. The cologne today, honey, is one of my favorite colognes. Y'all, my cologne today, y'all, is Emperador. On the high end, you say Emperador, and on the low end, you say Beautiful Brown. That's your cologne for today, honey.
Y'all give it up for Gary with the T. All right, y'all. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. It is time for the wake-up call. 22 minutes after the hour. Let's go.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's time to get yourself together. Cause he woke you up this morning, slid you in your house shoes, so we be better. Wake up, encourage each other and be productive. The Rickey Smiley Morning Show, wanna know where you calling from, so come on and tell us and just wake up.
Hey, this is Elisa Welsh in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I want to wake up all my preppies at Madison Preparatory Academy. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
I want to wake up my granddaughter. She listens to the show every morning. Her name is Sun Moon. She is 3 years old. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Grandpa loves you.
I want to wake up my daughter, Nakiri, my son, Kent, and all the people at Stephen Putnam Memorial Hospital in Albany, Georgia. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
This is Mayor Rodney G. from Cincinnati, and I want to wake my damn self up before I have to pull a Black Tony this morning.
To the 12 jurors in the George Floyd case for finally opening your eyes and seeing the truth. Wake up, America. Wake up, America.
Cause we gon' let them know. Kansas City, wake up. In Columbus, wake up. Cincinnati, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. West Palm Beach, wake up. And Greenville, wake up. Come on, Jacksonville, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
All right, y'all. That's the wake-up call, man. It's me.
Miss Bernice Jenkins.
Just another day that the Lord has kept me in.
Yes. Come on now.
Janie.
Yeah.
He woke me up this morning.
Yeah.
Started my car for me. Didn't even have to put the key in there, Janie. That's how good he is.
My Lord. Won't he do it?
I was riding the bus. But now I'm riding. Brand new 96 Buick LeSabre.
Yeah.
Jane, you got to get your Buick LeSabre. Here's our church announcement this morning. Govern yourself.
Accordingly.
Govern yourself.
Accordingly.
Now, y'all know Deacon J.D. Hicks.
Yeah.
Twan, you know Deacon J.D. Hicks?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, J.D. Hicks, he needs prayer this morning. And Janie, he just turned 87 on Monday.
okay.
And recovering from a black eye. After he got to fighting in the parking lot last night with his ex-wife's glorious new boyfriend after choir rehearsal. Now, JD said the only reason he lost because the other dude kicked him in his artificial leg and twisted it backwards. So he can only move in a circle and he couldn't fight back. You understand what I'm saying, Jamie?
Time he walk, he just go in a circle.
Going in a circle, couldn't fight back. I need everybody to pray hard, pray harder. Pray hard, pray harder. For Walter Turner. Jenny, you know who Walter Turner is?
Yeah.
Now, he in the hospital this morning.
Oh.
And at 74 years old, he finally realized his dream of pledging Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity.
Never too late.
Yeah, he finally realized his dream of pledging Kappa. He was at a step show Monday night. And they put him in a stroll. And he threw that cane way up in the air. And missed it coming down, and it hit him in the back of his neck, and now he's paralyzed. Black Tony, what's going on? Hello?
Hey, Shadow. Hey, Shadow.
Yeah.
Shadow, I'm probably not going to make it today, Shadow. I ain't going to lie.
Come on, man. Come on,
Shadow, my head, I'm up under the pillow right now, Shadow. You know, I stayed with my mama friend again, Shadow.
With your mama friend?
Yeah, one of my mama friends, Shadow. You know, she be giving me money and stuff, looking out for me, but she a big lady, though. Then Miss Sabrina.
Bro, what they got to do with you not coming to work? Everybody dealing with something.
She in her sleep, and every time I try to push her leg off of me, she poop. And I can't take it. Shot in my face up under the pillow. Every time I push her leg a little bit.
Black Tony, do you think that's a legitimate excuse not to come to work today?
I might die in here, Shawty. Every time I push her leg, she poop. And then when she wake up, Shawty, she starts swinging because she have bad dreams. She said she wake up at 9 o'clock no matter what, Shawty. She said she gonna wake up at 9 o'clock no matter what. So as soon as she wake up, Shawty, I promise you,
Bro, we'll be off by then. We'll be off by then.
But look, Shawty, can you call her phone number? If you call her number, then she'll get up, and I can get up out of here. But if I push her leg again and she pulled again, Shawty, I don't know if I can take it. It's so bad.
Man, what y'all ate last night? What she ate last night?
Yeah, I'll tell you some sweet potato soup, and some greens, and some bread.
Well, but she had some oxtails, sweet potato souffle, and some greens.
And some greens. She had mustard greens and collard green mixed up together.
Yeah, dog. And you up under that, dog? Dog.
Yeah, she woke. Yeah, so I move my leg, she pulled a little bit.
How's your face laying? Like, are you right there? Like,
I'm on the other side. I got my head turned. I'm up under the pillow, but I'm scared to move. Every time I still pulling right now.
Yeah, she over there snoring like Nate Newton.
Hold it. Half man, half woman. It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
All right, y'all. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, 5 minutes after the hour, y'all. Urban One honor celebrating women leading the change, honoring African American women who are changing the game. Hosted by Erica Campbell and Roland Martin. Tune in Sunday, May the 16th on TV One. Presented by Verizon. What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Wednesday, a beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. Robert Sylvester Kelly, also known as R. Kelly. We haven't heard much about R. Kelly lately, but now he's back in the news, y'all. Now, it's being reported that R. Kelly has requested that a court delay a lawsuit in which a sheriff, y'all, is suing the singer for allegedly breaking up his marriage. Now, according to the court documents obtained by Radar, they're saying, y'all, that R. Kelly wants the court to halt the proceedings initiated by a man by the name of Kenny Bryant, y'all. Now, back in 2018, they're saying, y'all, that Mr. Bryant sued R. Kelly for allegedly sleeping with his beautiful wife. Now, they're saying the case was filed in Mississippi, which allows a person to sue a third party if they had an extramarital affair with their spouse. Now, the lawsuit claims, y'all, that Mr. Bryan's beautiful wife, Asia Childress, had a romantic relationship with R. Kelly prior to their July the 15th, 2012 wedding. Now, Bryan said that he was told that the relationship, but that Kelly rekindled the relationship when she attended one of his wonderful concerts back in October of 2012. She wanted to hear R. Kelly play. Now, they said Bryan said that his wife persuaded him to move to Atlanta for her career, but he really thinks that it was that so she could be continuing the affair with R. Kelly. And they said he even quit his job, honey, for his wonderful wife. Now, they're saying, y'all, that Kelly is about to face trial in New York before heading to Chicago, y'all, for a second trial. Yeah, is that R. Kelly's fault because that man wife cheated?
That's a bad one right there, man. That's bad because you still hear R. Kelly songs sometimes, and you just, man, that's rough. That's rough. Cause for that guy, and he was a sheriff. Oh man, that's
what
tough.
was in love?
Wait a minute, what happened again?
R. Kelly.
Tell us, go ahead, Kay.
No, well, R. Kelly, he said that R. Kelly had an affair with his wife, and his wife made him quit his job and move to Atlanta so she could further her career, but really she was doing it to stay closer to R. Kelly. Yeah. And now he's suing R. Kelly for,
And that's not a manly move, suing R. Kelly because his wife, honey,
sue him and her. Sue her.
Yeah, but sue her. Sue her. That's who his contract is with. That's who he's married to. That's who he sues, not him.
I swear my girlfriend made me go and pick her husband up, buy her husband a pack of Newports last night. And I got back home and sat in my driveway and thought about what I just did.
Yeah, oh my God.
Boy, these women powerful. They powerful.
Yeah, that's right. And I thought they said with the blood of Jesus that had the power, but evidently not. There's other things too that got his power. So, but I mean,
put a sock in it, Joffrey. The boy's in love.
I guess right there, Jack. That's cute, honey. That girl needs to write a book, honey, and let all other girls know how you do it. You have your husband leave his job and move so you get closer to your man, baby. That's cute, honey. I mean, honey, that's a good book to read.
Say it again, Rob.
Put a sock in it, Joffrey. The boy's in love.
Early on.
Moving on, honey. Another celebrity news, y'all. Lizzo, honey, now, she admitted, y'all, to drunkenly sliding into actor Chris Evans' DMs. Tom Hanks' son, Chet, decided, y'all, to slide into hers, honey. Now, he wrote to Lizzo, it don't work out with Captain America. He said, I'm here, baby. Adding that, he love her. And he said, he's a white boy, and he got white boy summer, and she got big queen summer. So he said, honey, hell, you can slide into my DMs, honey, but that Chet Hackett is something else. Have y'all seen him, Tom Hanks' son, the guy who got the song on White Boy Summer and what have you?
Yes.
Very interesting, honey. And Miss Lizzo, I think they'll just play with her, honey, and get some notoriety off her and just throw her right on back in the water. But nevertheless, congratulations goes out to
back in the water like she goes. Okay, Gary.
Don't go there. Don't do it.
Yeah. But anyway, congratulations, Lizzo, child, honey. We love Lizzo, and she's a great singer and great performer, y'all. We love her. So, all right, honey, I'm going to go ahead and get the color today because we're going to talk about this next story because it's too much to talk about. Honey, Waka Flocka Flame, he received his Lifetime Achievement Award from Donald Trump. The color today is one of my favorite color. My color today, y'all, is Emperador. On the high end, you say Emperador, and on the low, just say Beautiful Brown. That's your color for today.
Oh, y'all give it up for Gary with the T.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news.
It's what's trending now.
On the phone, we have two gentlemen we can always count on. And the George Floyd family has definitely counted on them during this journey to justice. Help me welcome civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump and the one and only Reverend Al Sharpton. We got them both on this morning. Hey, good morning, Reverend Al and Ben.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, Reverend Al, this question is for you. George Floyd's brother says that after 330 days, they can finally breathe again. What is it like in the courtroom with the family as the verdict was being read?
Well, because of COVID, only Floyd, one member of the family, could be in the courtroom. The rest of the brothers and
and cousins and the daughter were all with us at a hotel nearby watching it live. And when they said guilty the first time, we all just threw our hands up in the air thanking God. But then when he said it the second and third time, just everybody just burst out crying. I mean, I started crying. I looked, and Rodney was crying, which is George's other brother. I think that the weight of oppression that all of us felt being lifted just a little, because it's not all the way over, but just being lifted a little and seeing that this man was being handcuffed. And that will put an indelible imprint in the mind of every policeman this morning. They will never forget seeing a cop handcuffed and walked into jail. And every time they think about drawing their gun or doing something against the law, they will now remember they can be held accountable. And that's what brought the tears down. And let me say this to you, Rickey, because you're always on target as far as I'm concerned, but you are a little off this morning. You have the Attorney General of Black America on with you, and that is Ben Crump. None of this would have happened without the meticulous work and the tireless work. I seen this man leave his family, grab planes in the middle of the night to bring us to this moment. And we as a people have to start celebrating people before they die. We should celebrate Ben Crump while he's still in his prime.
Oh, Reverend Al, Ben, we talk on the phone and text each other. Reverend Al, I done made videos taken up for him and cursing people out. Hey, right, Ben?
Absolutely.
Oh, no, I know you do. I'm just giving you the title. I know you got the rest of it. The title is he's the Attorney General of Black America. You know, I grew up making everybody say Godfather Soul, so I'm branding his title.
That's right. That's right. Hey, man, and we're thanking God for a guilty verdict, but do you think that we can expect the maximum sentence? Because we want Derrick Chauvin to be locked up for life, Ben. What do you think?
Well, I want to answer your question, but I do have to say thank you to my mentor and, our civil rights leader, our time, Reverend Al, for making sure we maintain the moral high ground.
Yes, sir.
Smiley, because we knew that what we saw in that video was evil. And Reverend Al, we would always, Rickey, and I know you're a big man of God, we would always pray publicly too, not just privately. So people would know that, God condemns what Chauvin did. This is not just about us here on earth. And so I always want to say, Reverend Al, thank you for reminding America that George Floyd on the moral high ground, and history will report that we were on the right side of history. I think that he will get sentenced within the scoring guidelines. They're going to say he's never committed a crime before because he's a police officer, so they're going to try to score him like a first-time offender. But what we have to do, and Keith Ellison, the great Attorney General of Memphis, the first African-American, he is going to ask for enhancements because he committed the crime in front of a child. There were aggravating circumstances. So we want him to be treated, as Reverend Al say, like they treat us in our community, because we want equal justice under the law. We want this to be a precedent that black people in America can get full justice on the civil side and the criminal side, something most families that Reverend Al and I have worked with over the years never get in America. They say if you get the civil settlement, you can't get the criminal conviction. Well, why is it black people have to settle for partial justice? Why can't we get whole justice? And so that's the precedent, Rickey Smiley. George Floyd got whole justice, and we want everybody else from now on to get whole justice, full justice.
So I wonder, what was that moment like when President Biden called and spoke with you and the Floyd family after the verdict was announced? How did that go?
It was so deep because I know they had told Reverend Al and I that they were going to call, and it's funny because you get a no call ID, so I'm scared to answer unknown calls now. Yeah, but they kept calling, and so I said, I'm going to pick it up because every time you get one of these calls, there's somebody at the White House or the United States Senate. And I picked up, and the lady said, Attorney Crump, President would like to speak to you all in the family if y'all together. And unfortunately, as Reverend Al said, Philonis was in the courtroom, so we were not together. So the president called 4 times, y'all, trying to talk to the family. And I thought that was profound that you would have the leader of the free world calling, trying to say, you know, I lost family members too. I understand what it's like to lose a family member, but y'all had to watch it over and over again. And he just wanted you all to know that me and Dr. Jill Biden was praying for you all.
Hey, now, listen, Reverend Al, either one of y'all can answer this question. The case in Columbus, Ohio, we all know that more needs to be done to change the system. What do we need to do to get the George Floyd Justice, in Policing Act passed? The young lady that was killed, her name is Micaiah Bryant. She was shot in the chest 4 times by a police officer in Columbus, Ohio, and it's just so much going on.
No, Reverend Toon, who's National Field Director for National Action Network, talked to Brian's mother, this young lady's mother, last night, and I'm going to talk with her this morning, and we're definitely going to deal with that and see what we can do there, as well as Attorney Crump and I just dealt with a case where he was able, Attorney Crump, to get some justice in Columbus for Andre Hill in the same city. The chairman of the Black Caucus, chairwoman, is the congresswoman there. And I think that we've got to deal with that. But don't forget, tomorrow, right here in Minneapolis, where Ben Crump and I are still here, because tomorrow is the funeral of Dante Wright, this young 20-year-old boy that was killed by a white policewoman who said she thought her gun was a taser and killed him. And this happened before we even got the trial over here for George Floyd. So I'm doing the eulogy tomorrow, and Ben is going to speak as the Attorney General of Black America at the funeral. So we couldn't even leave to go to Ohio because we have to deal with another funeral right here in Minneapolis. That's why we need the law. And that's why we need federal law. We need the Senate to pass the law. Everyone listening, and all of Black America listens to Rickey Smiley show. Even I think President Biden must listen. That's why he's so sensitive. Anybody want to be informed and entertained, listen to Rickey Smiley. And you should call your senators or email them and tell them that you will determine your vote for or against them based on them voting for this George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. That's the only thing going to stop this federal law.
So now let's not forget, this is a lot going on, but the other officers that were involved in this case with Derrick Chauvin, what's happening with their cases?
Yeah. And I just wanted to announce that Philonis Floyd, Little Al, has just come into the room, so he's with us. Yeah. Say hi to Rickey Smiley Nation, Philonis.
How y'all doing out there?
Hey, good morning, man. Sorry for your loss, man, and we're excited about the verdict as well.
Hey, man. To me, this is victorious. I'm thinking about the accountability that these officers, they have to be held at a high standard now. It's not justice for us, and we think so much about I'll never get my brother back. They can be erased and they can be brought back. This wasn't a mistake. This was 9 minutes and 29 seconds.
Yeah. What about Philonis? What about the other officers? What do y'all between you and Ben? Do anybody know the charges and when did they trial? Where we at with the officers that?
Yeah, they all were charged with the same charges. Remember, that's what Keith Ellison did so masterfully.
Oh.
He came in and said, we're going to treat George Floyd like we treat our white brothers and sisters, because you can just imagine, Rickey Smiley, had that been a white man, what the outcry would have been. And Reverend Al and I talk about that so often, about saying we got to make them see us as equals, not as something less than equal. So these other 3 officers are facing the same charges. Now, I do believe that they're going to try to have some lesser charge than Derrick Chauvin because they think that he was the most culpable. So they will probably get a lesser sentence and a lesser conviction, maybe on third-degree murder and manslaughter. But we will keep you informed, and Reverend Al and I and Philonis, we're going to stay on it, Ricky, night and day.
Hey, I got to ask this last question. Reverend Al, does this feel like the civil rights movement, you know, you were alive when Dr. King was alive, compared to now, everything that's going on right now, Reverend Al, compared to back then when y'all were fighting for, when y'all coming down, you know, to Birmingham and the bombing of 16th Street Baptist Church and everything that happened in Selma. How does everything back then, how it felt back then compared to now in this new generation with Black Lives Matter, Reverend Al?
Well, I think, you know, I was a little boy when Birmingham happened. I was only about 9 or 10, but I remember the last years of Dr. King because I was 12 or 13 when I became youth director in New York. And I think that we saw movements in the 80s even. And I think this feels like I was told it happened because I was mentored and trained by people that worked with Dr. King, like Y.T. Walker and others. This feels like the feeling they gave us. And I remember the disappointments in the 80s and 90s. Don't forget, 30 years ago, when I started merging with Rodney King, we had a videotape then and lost the case.
Yes.
I think this movement is so important because this is the first time we've seen whites as much as blacks marching. You should see in Minneapolis, many of the people out there marching, some of the marches are more white than black. The big march we had in Washington, and Martin Luther King III and National Action Network that I call and Philonis spoke at, we had 200,000 people. A third of them were white in a pandemic. I think that is something that we saw in the civil rights movement when I was a kid. The other thing I think that's going to be real critical, and Ben Crump pointed this out to Philonis and I and Rodney, is that when we saw policemen take the stand for the first time and break that blue wall of silence and testify against another policeman, the police chief even testified against a policeman. When policemen start standing up against bad cops, that's where I know change is possible.
Man, Reverend Al, Ben Crump, thank y'all so much, and thank you for everything that you do in stepping up to the plate and speaking up. And you just know you have a friend and a supporter over here, Reverend Al Sharpton and Ben Crump. I love y'all. Thank y'all. We know that. If I got 3 sons, 2 of them is Rickey Smiley. Yes, sir. Hey, Reverend Al, you know how about me, Ricky? Hey, Philonis, come on now. You already know I love you. Come on now. Hey, man, I just appreciate y'all and use us and use this platform to get messaging out and keep people involved in what's going on. So thank y'all so much, man. I love y'all. Be safe. And I really appreciate y'all coming on this morning because I'm sitting here, just got through watching you on morning show. I'm like, well, how you doing both? So y'all everywhere, but keep doing what you're doing. We love you and appreciate you. It's Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. A lot going on, man. Yesterday, the nation held its breath while awaiting the results of Derrick Chauvin's trial for the murder of George Floyd. And we want to know how you feel this morning. So what was your reaction when the Chauvin, was found guilty on all 3 charges in the death of Mr. Floyd? Are you hopeful? Call us up at 866-9-RICKY, 866-9-RICKEY. Now, the next question we all have is, what does it mean when it comes to sentencing? All right, so here to break it all down is CNN political analyst, attorney, and New York Times bestselling author Bakari Sellers. Good morning.
Good morning.
Man, so everybody had a short sigh of relief when the guilty verdict dropped on yesterday. Were you surprised by any of it?
It's very difficult to convict cops. I mean, very, very difficult to convict cops. I thought the prosecution did the best they could possibly do. It was the best case I've ever seen a prosecution put up. I've never seen that many officers. I mean, they basically just grabbed Derrick Chauvin by the pants and threw him over the blue wall. I mean, it was like 8, 9 officers who testified against him. Never seen anything like that. But I was relieved. I think is the best word. I think that I don't call this justice. Justice is reforms in place to make sure that people like George Floyd are alive. But I do call this accountability, and that gives me a little bit of hope.
What I'm concerned about is, what if he appeals? Because he has a sentencing coming up in about a month. Now, what is the status with him being able to appeal this sentence?
Yeah, he can appeal it. Ain't nothing going to happen from that appeal, though. There's not really any grounds for appeal. I mean, we just saw something that happened this week, actually, while this trial was going on this week and last week. Michael Schlegler, the person who shot Walter Scott in the back in Charleston, South Carolina, had just kind of utilized his last appeal. And the judge denied that, and he's still serving his 20-year sentence. I mean, the sentencing in this is going to be important because I believe his range is, somewhere between 10 and 14 years on the top two charges and about 4 years on the third charge. So it's going to be interesting to see what the judge gives him in this matter. But the jury spoke loudly yesterday, so I expect him to get a good, healthy sentence as well.
Speaking of accountability, do you see more states banning qualified immunity for police officers?
That's the question of the day, right? I mean, there's some things we can do, eliminating chokeholds, doing a database so that bad officers, Derrick Chauvin in theory could get out of jail and go be a police officer in another county. And because we literally don't have a database that prohibits bad officers from just shuffling around the country, which happens a lot, standardized use of force. But qualified immunity is probably the most important. And let me explain to people just briefly what that is. Basically, when a law enforcement officer beats your butt, right, when they take you in the alley, wear you out, and you file a lawsuit, that law enforcement officer doesn't pay that suit. That suit is paid usually by the state or by the county or municipality. What people are trying to do, including myself, are get those law enforcement officers or their police department to have to cover the insurance. If they have to cover the insurance, then if they do it too many times, like if you get into any car accidents, the premiums will go up, or they'll just kick you off, and that will put your assets at risk. That means that you're more likely to think about what you're doing, and you won't confuse a taser with a gun. So we're just trying to get them to put skin in the game, and that's very, very difficult to do, but I think we're making progress on that.
It's sad. Yeah, that's sad to say, considering all these videos out with white people pulling out knives and guns and everything on the police officer, jumping in cars, driving off or whatever, and doing mass shootings and get incarcerated unharmed. So with
don't you do none of that, Ricky. Don't think you can do what they do now. You don't do none of that.
Exactly. And with the amount of police shootings that continue to pop up around the country, do you foresee changes being as it relates to how police are selected and trained?
Yeah, I mean, trust but verify. Again, I'm hopeful. I mean, these are the right questions. I mean, I'm really excited. I mean, you guys are literally asking the right questions. Like yesterday wasn't a day that we all take a deep breath and we say, man, this is over. I mean, yesterday was the beginning. So these are the right questions. I just can't answer them because this country doesn't really give me any reason to believe that we will meet this moment. We always think that we will, but we always miss it. And so are we going to pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act? I need everybody out there, right, to call their local congressman. Everybody who's listening to this show, and I don't care if your congressman is black and always votes the way you, I need people to be working. Call your local congressman and senator and tell them they need to pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. And then you need to be going down to your county council and city council, making sure that they hiring good folk and they banning chokeholds. They breaking up union contracts. They're doing the stuff necessary so our kids are safe.
Hey, Bakari, real quick, what do you think about this new case when the police officer just shot this 15-year-old girl in the chest 4 times in Columbus?
It's hard because we need to get more information. I mean, from the body cam video, which I'm glad they put out, it looks like it's a question of did the officer save the other girl's life? I mean, that's a legitimate question. My biggest concern in this case is he just came out kind of busting, right? Like, was there anything else he could have done? Could he have deployed a taser, for example? Or was there any other method or means there were other police there that they try to de-escalate? So there are a lot of questions that are being asked. We need to get those answers. But the sad part is that there's a 15-year-old girl, a baby, who's dead. The officer just came out firing. I'm not sure if he saved a life yet. But even if he did, I think that there are probably some other means and methods he could have utilized so that this young lady is correct. The last thing, Ricky, about this case, like a lot of cases, is that it looks like law enforcement was just the last system to fail her. This young lady was in foster care. This young lady was having some issues in school, etc. And it reminds me of Freddie Gray's case. It's just the last system to fail. And we have to reform the way this country treats black people, particularly our black babies.
Absolutely, man. Bakari, thank you. So I love everything that you do. We watch you almost every day when you're on CNN. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. How can people follow you?
You go to Bakari _Sellers and I'm on Instagram, Bakari Sellers. But at the end of the day, I really prefer you follow your congressman, United States senator, and follow them into their behinds, do something good for our people. So make sure that spend some time today dialing up to D.C. and getting them to pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act.
There it is, man. Hey, man, thank you so much, man. Y'all give it up for Bakari Sellers. Hey, appreciate you, man. Have a great day.
Always.
Let's go back. Special K, what did it take you back to?
Man, I was in the Air Force at the time. I had just got into the Air Force. That was like 84. Man, that was
You went to prison before?
No. I got in trouble way later in life.
Really?
Okay.
That's when I was still a really good citizen.
Right. How much time did you do?
Well, this is about New Edition, but it was 18 months. But this is about New Edition, the greatest male supergroup of all time.
About cooling it now.
This is what that's about. Right. The greatest male supergroup.
But it was, the last thing was a white collar.
Yeah, it was white collar. But this is about New Edition, man. The greatest male supergroup of all.
What's the difference between white and blue collar?
Well, white collar means, crimes against, financial crimes, things like that.
Oh.
But this is about New Edition, man. The greatest male supergroup ever.
And where did you serve most of your time? Did they transfer you?
I don't really even think that you can even do a versus with New Edition. Like, who could you really put them up against? Maybe the Commodores or...
But you didn't do prison time in Georgia, did you?
No, yeah, I did. Yeah, it was in Atlanta. It was at the federal camp in Atlanta.
Oh, the one you have to go past the zoo?
Yeah, right
straight
over there
down the street, and it's sitting up there looking like the Capitol.
This is about songs that stay in your head all day. This is about the greatest supergroup in all time.
Did they have you is federal prison like really, really like more laid back than state prison?
Yeah, it's a lot more laid back. It's a lot less stressful.
All right, last thing, how much time did you do in the city before they shipped you to prison?
No. You actually turn yourself in. You actually come off the street and go straight into the thing. But this is about super.
So you don't have to do no time in the city. It wasn't a trial.
Did y'all know that New Edition not only as a great group, but they also spawned BBD, Johnny Gill, Bobby Brown.
But Ricky, do they play New Edition in prison? Or do they get a chance to hear
unless he got a hold to a record player, put it to the microphone like Andy Dufresne did on Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay.
But wouldn't y'all agree that New Edition is the greatest group of all time, maybe?
Oh, yeah, they got to be.
More about your incarceration.
Of an entire generation, Eva, an entire generation.
Hey, the last thing I'm asking you, like when we went to the White House that time, why didn't you put on the application when we went to visit President Obama that you had did time? Why didn't you put it on the application?
They have resources. Well, the White House has resources where they can input your name and your social security number, and they can pretty much tell that you have been a visitor at one of their fine institutions. And that will deny you access to the White House.
After your stripping days.
Oh. See, this is about New Edition, man. Once again, man.
So,
Ronnie,
Ricky, why you left him and went
Stripper.
in the White House and didn't even bring Special K with you when you went in the White House? I mean, you left him in the trunk? Is that correct? Something like that?
Hey, we got... Now, we'll talk about that later. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, y'all please help me welcome Ramsey High School's own comedian, FAMU, Florida A&M University's own, a product of WBHJ 95.7 Jams, actor, writer, comedian.
Hey,
wait a minute, you got fired too, Roy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, twice. I found out on Twitter. We can talk about that off air, though.
Wait a minute, me, you, and B. Brian. I think B. Brian got you.
Yeah, and then another time by myself.
How you get fired twice from the same job?
You good, so they ask you back.
Hey, David DeBose was our general manager, so he was one of them type that fire you and then he'll hire you back later on. Me, B. Brian.
He fire you and then he go to lunch and be like, wait a minute, he was pretty good. Let me go and get him back in the building real quick.
Right. The Daily Show correspondent. Y'all give it up for my good friend, my little brother, Roy Wood Jr.
One time! I know we got a lot to talk about, Rick, but let me just say one thing real quick. The only supergroup that can challenge New Edition is Belle Biv DeVoe, which is essentially a subdivision of New Edition.
Pretty much. Pretty much. So the point I was trying to make, Roy.
Did you say subdivision?
They're a subdivision, a subsidiary. That's the word I was looking for. I'm sorry. My high school education, my FAMU education, I said subdivision. I was trying to say subsidiary.
So basically, New Edition is Atlanta, and then BBD is Buckhead.
Pretty much.
Oh my God!
I just want to send a shout out real quick to all the Best Buy employees who can breathe a sigh of relief that they stores didn't get towed up last night, and they can still go to work today. Congratulations! It's a small victory, but congratulations.
Cause I needed an iPad. I was waiting on Kevon to hit me up where I was going. I just knew I had 2 iPads on a flat screen coming my way.
Dude, it's been wild, man. Also, Rick, I don't know how y'all rolling on that vaccine tip, but I done got 2 out of 3. I'm trying to collect the whole set.
Right.
So if anybody got a plug on that Pfizer, you let me know, and I'll use your name real quick.
I don't think that's how that work, Roy. I don't think you need all of them, bro.
How you know? Everybody a vaccine expert now. Everybody think they Fauci. You done watched 2 episodes of Don Lemon. That ain't how the vaccine work. Actually, the vaccine bonds. But shut your ass up. You don't know nothing. You take NyQuil.
We're gonna get all them damn vaccines.
I don't trust you.
Right. Hey, congratulations. Hey, Roy, congratulations on your new podcast, man. And, what can the fans expect and where can they find it?
Yo, man, the podcast is called Roy's Job Fair. Plain and simple, we hooking people up with jobs. If these places are hiring, we calling in, we talking to them about those opportunities, and we letting people come in and tell wild stories. We talked to a postal worker, Ricky. The post office is hiring, and they give you up to 70 hours a week if you want to do that work for real. We talked with a postal worker, bruh. He said he still has to deliver certified letters to crack houses. I didn't even know crackheads got mail like that. I'm thinking you got to avoid dogs. Oh, no, baby. You got to knock on the door. And then he said that you have to knock in a way that the police wouldn't knock so that you don't scare everybody.
Right.
Because the police don't knock with no rhythm because it's just white folks.
Right.
The post office, you got to go knock.
Exactly.
Knock.
Exactly. Knock. Now listen.
Well, you have us cracking up, and we hear that you have big things going on with your new 2-hour comedy special coming out later this year. Tell us about
why 2 hours, Roy?
2 hours,
Rick? 2 hours. It's not 2 hours. It's an hour of jokes, and then we're mixing it up with like some documentary footage and like just kind of other stuff. It ain't 2 hours of straight jokes. I ain't Sinbad. What the hell you think this is?
Yeah, Sinbad, the one Sinbad and Mark Curry got the most material.
Sinbad, there's a story about Sinbad, man, where Sinbad went on stage, did an hour. A couple came in late because they were stuck behind a snowplow. He did another 90 minutes just for that couple.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
That's the GOAT, man. That's the GOAT. And I want to send a special get well to Sinbad. I know he out there laying low recovering, man. We love you, and we want to see you back on stage, man.
Absolutely. Hey, man, hey, Ron, I got to ask you this, man. I watch your videos, so you go to the Donald Trump rallies. Are you ever scared when you go to the Donald Trump rallies and interview those, the Trump supporters? Do you?
This is the only time I got scared, bro. You ain't, because it's like a prank call, Rick. You ain't scared in the moment. It's after you do the prank, and then you be like, oh, damn, that dude could have murdered me. It don't hit you till after the fact, because when you in it, you're just trying to get the comedy. So I got to keep the conversation going. We went to Montana, and I was talking with some folks up in Montana, and, they was talking wild or whatever. I get back to work. About a week later, somebody mailed me a Bible, one of the people I talked to. And in the Bible was all these, verses highlighted about forgiveness. And in the back of the Bible, in them blank pages, he wrote, I forgive you for what you did to me. That's the coldest threat on earth, bro. When somebody mail you a Bible and be like, I thought about murdering you, but then I talked to Jesus. He said, don't do it, and mail you these scriptures. I ain't going back to Montana. I don't need nothing in Montana, not never again, not never.
Hey, Roy,
I don't know what else he praying about.
I'm willing to bet you flew in that morning and filmed it and flew out on that last flight. I bet you didn't stay.
Come on now, you know I ain't spending the night no damn month. We just in and out that thing, brother.
Glad you got that much sense.
Yes, sir.
Yo, I said we need to go to Salt Lake City where it's safe. I know it's at least 2 brothers there. I seen the Jazz on TV. I know they got black people here.
Hey, and you know, you're very outspoken in the political arena. Now, what are your thoughts on where we are now as the country approaches Biden's first 100 days?
I don't think it's time to pop the champagne in any accounts. You know, there has been some levels of progression, you know, with the Biden administration, but I don't think him getting elected is a victory. The victory is him doing the work. It's his administration doing the work and making sure that we hold them accountable, and also making sure that what happened yesterday with Chauvin, we don't paint that as a victory. That's the way the system's supposed to work. Also, I'm still holding my breath because now the guilty verdict is the new mile marker, because they'll go, oh, you're guilty. We're going to give him 3 months in jail real quick. Don't worry about it. But it's just 3 months in jail.
Right.
They sneak that BS sentence in on the back end. You know, 5 to 10 years ago, we just wanted an arrest. Then we wanted a conviction. Now we're getting convictions. Now the next thing we're going to have to fight for is real sentencing. So I just hope that what's happening at a national level trickles down to the state level, and it seems to be happening. You see what they did in Birmingham, Rick. The homie Mayor Randall Woodfin expunged all marijuana arrests from 1990 till 2020. If you ever touched a piece of weed in the last 30 years, come on back to the jail and get your paperwork and get your blessings. Welcome back to the
Man, that's major.
Hey, Roy, man, I have to personally say thank you. I remember when, we jumped on the radio on 97.9 The Beat, and that was the start of the Rickey Smiley Morning Show, and how you got on a plane and you jumped on Southwest and came to Dallas and stayed with us, me, you, Head Crack, and help us put this morning show together. Did your prank phone calls, edited the ones that I had, and help us put this whole morning show together. And we've been rolling ever since, man. You like one of the best little brothers in the world, and I absolutely love you, and I'm proud of you, man. And Roy, you know how I feel.
I appreciate it, brother. The only thing I didn't like about coming to Dallas to work with y'all was Gary kept trying to take me to the Galleria to put me in some wild-ass clothing. I'm like, bro, I can't wear big belt buckles. That ain't what I do.
I'm sorry.
I was wearing sneakers. Gary, you need some wingtips. I don't need no wingtips, Gary.
With the pointed toe.
Yeah, try to put me in pointed toes and belt. You in Texas. You need a belt buckle. No, the hell I don't.
You have to upgrade you.
Well, I love you, man, and I appreciate you for supporting the podcast, bro. Thank you for letting me come on and run my mouth about it.
Hey, Roy, you can come on anytime. Roy, don't be a stranger. Please come on the morning show anytime, Roy. Seriously.
Well, I got you. When I get this third vaccine, I'm going to come in studio because I'm going to be invincible by then.
There it is. Hey, Roy, real quick, let everybody know how they can follow you.
It's Roy Wood Jr. Put an @ in front, put a .com behind it. That's it. The podcast is Roy's Job Fair. Wherever you get podcasts, we there too.
Ladies and gentlemen, this kid is from Birmingham, Alabama. He is a graduate of Ramsey High School and also a graduate of the one and only FAMU Rattlers. Make sure you check out his new podcast, Roy's Job Fair. Y'all give it up for the one and only Roy Wood Jr.
What time?
Love y'all.
Love you, man. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
News headlines,
entertainment, sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 8:28 after the hour. Y'all, the segment's being brought to you by...
Every time you touch a surface, you leave behind bacteria. To keep surfaces sanitized, touch after touch, use Microban 24 sanitizing spray. Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria, but does not provide 24-hour protection against viruses.
Eva Rocky said bacteria.
I mean, but he said the other stuff good though. Staphylococcus and aerogenes.
Get the hard words right and mess up the easy words.
Yes.
Every time you touch a surface, you leave behind bacteria. That's right. To keep the surface sanitized, touch after soft. Use Microban 24 sanitizing spray. Microban 24-hour protects against
bacteria.
Bacteria.
That's a new strand of bacteria.
That's a new variant.
Oh, boy, my chest hurting. All right, Eva, what you got this morning?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, Rock T. Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. I'm your girl, Eva Marcille, here with a quick look at your front page news. After 10 hours of deliberation, former Minneapolis police officer Derrick Chauvin was found guilty on all counts in the death of George Floyd. Second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. Now, he could face up to 40 years in prison if he is sentenced with all the counts at maximum in June. The 3 officers who were with Chauvin when Floyd died will also be on trial on charges of aiding and abetting murder and manslaughter. Now, of course, Chauvin's conviction does not automatically signal a new era in police accountability. Rodney Floyd, George Floyd's younger brother, called for a passage of the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, which could make it easier to prosecute police officers for misconduct. The House has passed it, and President Biden supports it. Unfortunately, as we are getting news of Derrick Chauvin's verdict, police in Columbus, Ohio shot and killed a teenage girl who swung a knife at 2 other people. Body camera footage was released and shows that the 15 or 16-year-old girl named Ma'Khia Bryant being shot 4 times in the chest. Whew. Now, in other news, Johnson & Johnson is resuming its vaccine rollout in Europe. Regulators said that the shot's benefits outweigh the risk of rare blood clots. And last but certainly not least, the White House endorsed a bill, Ricky, to make Washington, D.C. a state. The House of Representatives will vote on this very soon. All right, that was a quick look at your front page news. For more, log on to RickySmileyMorningShow.com. Rock T, what's going on in sports?
Well, the sports world have responded to the guilty verdict of Derrick Chauvin, Golden State Warrior Draymond Green. This is not the end of bad cops. Much more work needs to be done.
Something wrong with it. Some bacteria and then got in this.
Oh, my God. I think it was Minneapolis.
He's coming back.
Here we go. 5, 4, 3.
Message. We back. Shout out to Timberwolves star Karl Anthony Towns, man. He said it was a bittersweet moment that justice was served, but it was served at the cost of a life. And before the mic go out one more time, that's all my sports for right now, because we got the hot spot coming up. Here we go.
The hot spot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot and that's hot. You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
We got to start pre-recording that last sports, boy. That internet, them internet minutes be going out, boy. You got flip phone internet. All right, y'all. 28 before the top of the hour, y'all. The segment's being bought by CreditRepair.com. Stop getting denied for credit. CreditRepair.com works and can help remove inaccurate and unfair items from your credit report. Just go to CreditRepair.com for your free evaluation. What a rock.
Pimpin', man. Rock Teasy back at you, sitting in for the Brat. This morning, it's the hot spot where we bring you music, movies, and more, man. It was 5 years ago today that born Prince Rogers Nelson on June 7th, 1958, died at the age of 57 of an accidental overdose of the opioid fentanyl. Oh. In April 2018, Minnesota's Carver County Attorney Mark Metz announced he was closing the investigation into the musician's death without filing any criminal charges. That investigation determined that Prince died from taking a counterfeit Vicodin pill that contained fentanyl, a dangerous, powerful opioid. So we simply do not have sufficient evidence to charge anyone with a crime related to Prince's death. Now, coming on July 30th is the latest archival. Did I say that right? Archive. Prince released plucked from the seemingly endless vaults at Paisley Park. All right, so he's got a new project coming out, man, titled Welcome to America. The album was recorded back in 2010 and left unreleased. Back in September, Prince's estate released the super deluxe edition of his groundbreaking 1987 double album set, Sign of the Times. The collection, which has been expanded to an 8 CD, and DVD. 13 LP of the DVD set includes the original album remastered for the first time, 63 previously unreleased tracks, as well as previously unreleased 2+ hour video concert performed by Prince. Man, he's got so much stuff. 63 unreleased tracks, man. I ain't gonna lie. I hope it's some of that old school, late 70s, 80s type Prince Center Revolution type music, man. I'm excited for that one right there. Got some good news. Jeezy has shared a video of himself getting the COVID-19 vaccine. He captioned the clip, "Second dose, fully vaccinated. It's not about you. It's about your loved ones and the ones closest to you. It's to protect them. So everybody get out there and get vaccinated." Last but not least, Swiss Beats has asked Kanye West to participate in DMX's public memorial service. Back in May 2019, DMX delivered a prayer at Kanye's Sunday service series. X later told GQ about the experience. He says, "I wouldn't call it church service. There's no word for it. It was actually joyful, which God says to do. We're about to make a joyful noise. I enjoyed it. It was moving. I didn't know what to expect, though." DMX's public service will be held on April 24th at Brooklyn's Barclays Center. I'm Rock Teasy, and that's what's hot, man. We got the praise mix down coming up next, right here on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show, pimping.